Hi, welcome to HowCookingWorks.com. Today we can cook Luc Lac or filet mignon beef stir fry. So to start off, we're actually in a Vietnamese market. So if you want to cook authentic Vietnamese food, it makes sense to shop in a Vietnamese market. One of the key things is sometimes depending where you're at, not many people speak English. So what we have here is filet mignon. It's $4.59. That's ball filet. It's the entire piece, as you see here. That's about 2.5 pounds. So we only need 1 pound. I already have some, so that should give you some perspective. Next off, I'm gonna go look for some fish sauce. So here we go. See that gentleman who just took 4? This is probably I would say one of the most popular brands. This is the brand that I sort of live and die by. This is the Flying Lion fish sauce, Nuc Mum. And here you see it has like a fish. I'll take it out so you can see. If possible, try to get this one. This is by far my favorite brand. The thing here is, so it's $3. Basically, remember, this is fermented fish. Sounds really icky and scary, but it's actually quite good. If you had pad thai, pho, Thai green curry, red curry, they all have fish sauce in it. So it's in a lot more of your Asian dishes than you probably know. Now that we're back from the market, let's go over all the ingredients. First, we have the filet mignon, 1 pound. We have some sugar. We have some soy sauce. Some fish sauce. Some kosher salt. If you don't have kosher salt, you can use regular salt. Some black pepper. And some grapeseed oil. Grapeseed oil is actually a new addition to how I'm preparing this dish, because grapeseed oil has a higher smoking point than the other oils like olive oil. So the thing is, if you leave olive oil on your wok or your pan and you leave it on high, the thing is that oil actually can catch on fire. The thing with grapeseed oil, it has a higher smoking point. So when the temperature gets hotter and you do your stir fry, it's going to come out where your meat's going to be more seared and have more flavor. Now for the directions of this are actually pretty simple. So what we're going to do is grab this filet mignon, we're going to cut it into 1/2-inch cubes. Next thing is we're going to mince the shallot and the garlic. We can combine the rest of the ingredients, which are the sugar, soy sauce, fish sauce, kosher salt, and pepper. What we want to do is marinate it for at least an hour to get its flavors permeated in. The more you leave it for the marinade, the more flavorful it's going to be. Now that you've seen a recipe of Vietnamese food, the important thing to cook Vietnamese food better is to understand the theory behind the food and the theory behind the recipe. So, Vietnamese food, generally speaking, is very bold. What I mean by very bold is it's very seasoned in terms of it's salted just enough, if not a little too salty. This is different than Japanese food, where in Japanese cuisine there's some subtlety in it. But in Vietnamese food, Vietnamese cooks don't want you to guess what you're eating. If they want you to taste the salt, they're going to salt it just enough. Now, when I talk about bold, you have to learn how to express Vietnamese boldness. And that's through primarily the usage of salt. So in this dish, we have 3 salts. We have fish sauce, soy sauce, and salt. And to cook effectively, you have to begin to understand the differences of it. So do the following test and you begin to discern some differences. So take the kosher salt, open it up and take a smell. You're going to notice you're not going to smell anything, right? Now take the soy sauce, open it up and take a smell. Now the soy sauce, it's you can sort of smell the soybeans and it's a little bit pungent. Now take the fish sauce, open up the lid and take a whiff. Now you notice the fish sauce is really pungent. To some it may be overbearing. But the thing is, in Vietnamese food, you have to understand how to control these 3 salts in every dish. In almost every Vietnamese dish, there's a focus on one of these 3 salts. It's either going to be soy sauce focus, like this dish, fish sauce focus, like other dishes, or just using some regular salt. So, in this dish, the flavor's composition is primarily salt, sweet, and umami. And as you look at the percentages, it's mainly salt. So in the salt, we actually have 3. Soy sauce, fish sauce, and salt. For the sweet, we have sugar, and umami, which means savory, we have soy sauce and fish sauce. So when you're eating Vietnamese dishes and you're sort of curious why it tastes so good, it's because Vietnamese are able to leverage these 3 dimensions of salt in order to bring out flavors in different ways. So to move on, let's get started and do some preparation. For the preparation, as you remember, what we want to do is we want to cut this into half-inch cubes. So the first thing is you can wash the filet mignon, that's fine, and just grab a knife and begin cutting it into half-inch cubes. Okay, now that's done, remember you want to try to keep the cubes as consistent as possible, so when you cook it, your meat will cook evenly. So we have the filet mignon here in a middle bowl, and what we have prepared are all the ingredients. So what we have here is the shallot and garlic, 1 teaspoon of sugar, 2 tablespoons of soy sauce, and 1 teaspoon of fish sauce. So what we're going to do right now is just going to combine this all in. Remember, you want this to marinate at least for an hour. And the thing is, before you cook, you want to actually take just an hour out before you start, half an hour out before you start cooking, because you want the meat to get to room temperature. The reason being is when you cook the meat, you want it to sear as much as possible, and if the meat is cold, it's going to take longer to cook. Oh yeah, before we forget, in addition, what we want to do is we want to add some kosher salt, and we want to sprinkle on some black pepper. A couple squirts is enough. You don't want to do it too much, because if you do, then it's going to get a little too peppery. Now we're going to let it rest for about an hour. Now time for cooking. What's really important when cooking this dish is you need to have a wok. What you want to invest in is a wok that's sort of heavy, and that most importantly is if you look at the bottom that it's flat. If it's flat, it's going to fit on your electric or your gas well. What you want to do is, the first thing is you really need to take care about the stages and you cook it in. First off, you need to heat up the wok. You need to heat up the wok, you need to heat up the oil, get the oil really hot and then cook it. If you mix any of the order up, then the beef is not going to brown as well. So first off, put it on high and go ahead and just heat it up for a little bit. And what I usually like to do is I like to do like a water test. So what that means is I like dropping a couple of specks of water in there, and if it starts to like evaporate really quickly, then it's about done. I actually already preheated this wok earlier, so what we're going to do now is going to add some grapeseed oil. You have to be really careful because when you start cooking this will splash at you. So next up, heat up the oil. This thing can take some punishment, as I said earlier about the smoke point. Now, when you're cooking this dish, whenever you cook anything with wok stir fry, you want to do it in small portions because you overcrowd it, it's not going to be good. So as you cook this, you want to only cook half a pound at a time. So what you're going to notice is you might see some smoke come out of your wok. That's okay. So, whoa, okay, that's pretty good there. And what you want to do now is when it starts smoking, we're going to toss half of it in only. It's going to flash. So the thing here is a lot of smoke's going to come out, and if you have the possibility of doing this outside, then by all means. But don't forget to turn on your fan. This is going to cook fairly quickly. So this is what's nice about this is this is about only maybe a couple minutes for each batch. So you will be able to eat this fairly quickly. Now the thing here is you want to cook this like I like it medium rare, so filet mignon you can get it medium rare to well done. But what you're going to notice here is you're going to see the beef and it's going to be sort of brown, which is good. If you want to really see if it's there or not, you can just like take a scissor, cut it and see if it's rare or not. This is about medium rare. This is how I like it. So that was pretty quick, around maybe 2 to 3 minutes on there. Now, as you see here, we have some beef plated over some sauteed onions. You can also put this over tomatoes, it doesn't really matter, and just serve it with some rice. So there you go, Luc Lac, beef stir-fry filet mignon. Not too hard to do, requires you to do a little bit of work of getting some ingredients. So bon appetit, and see you in the next premium video.